So g'day curd nerds, today I'm making something very festive. So this is going to be called my Festive Fromage 5 Easy Cheese Balls. So cheese balls, for those who don't know, are basically cream cheese plus some other cheese and some other ingredients moulded into a ball shape, and you just take bits off it and put it on crackers and eat it. It's well known for this time of year. So I've made 5 different types of cheese balls. Some are vegetarian, some are not. So let me show you how I made the 5 easy cheese balls. So to make a good cream cheese, you'll need good milk, of course. So I'm using milk from Inglenook Dairy. It's unhomogenized. And I'm also using some pure cream. It has no additives in it whatsoever. So I made this cream cheese using my French cream cheese recipe. And you can see it's got a lovely firm set there. That was after 36 hours of waiting. And then I hung and drained it. I got a total yield of about 1.8 kilograms. If you want to check out that recipe, you can look at the info card now. So the first cheese ball was the Dill Chive cheese ball. To make this cheese ball, you will need 225 grams or 8 ounces of cream cheese that's been softened. Just let it come up to room temperature. 1/2 cup of Cheddar that has been grated. I'm using my own that I've made. 1/2 teaspoon of Worcester sauce. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. 2 tablespoons of chives that have been snipped. 1 teaspoon of dried dill. And for the coating of the ball, 1 tablespoon of dried dill. There's all your ingredients ready to go. Firstly, weigh out your cream cheese. Got a lovely big bowl there you can see of cream cheese. Now, if you're using store-bought cream cheese, just empty the packet into the bowl. Now I'm just cutting open the Cheddar that I made earlier this year. Just cutting off a wedge. I'm going to grate it. It grates so easily, it's lovely cheese. So I'm just measuring out the Cheddar now. Then add it to the mixing bowl. Now for the Worcester sauce. Give it a good shake because it usually settles down to the bottom. This adds a little bit of peppery flavour and some heat, I suppose, some spiciness to the cheese ball. Now I'm adding the garlic powder. And then the chives. These are semi-dried chives that you can buy in the supermarket. If you've got your own chives, fantastic. Just chop them up and add them to the bowl. And then I'm adding the dill. It's just dried dill. Now with a fork, just mix that well. If you've got the store-bought stuff, you may have to use a mixer, but mine was sufficiently soft enough to give it a good stir. Now I did salt to taste. I think it thought it needed a little bit more salt, so I gave it a bit of a grind. So once it's all mixed through, Then just lay out some plastic wrap. And using a spatula, just take the contents of the bowl, put it onto the wrap. And then just wrap the cheese ball and form it into a ball shape. Now we're going to put that into the kitchen fridge for 8 hours. So 8 hours later, we're going to measure out some more dill. Just sprinkle that over a plate. And then we're going to roll our cheese ball in the dill to coat it. Now if it has flattened a little bit in the fridge, just reshape it there, it's quite firm. And then just roll it in the dill all over. Just cover up any cheese that's exposed and make it look nice. So you do this just before serving. There we go, doesn't that look amazing? The next cheese we're making is the Cranberry Pecan Cheeseball. So the ingredients for this cheese is 225 grams or 8 ounces of cream cheese that's been softened, 3/4 of a cup of chowder that's been grated, half a cup of dried cranberries that have been chopped, half a cup of pecans or pecan that has been chopped, 2 tablespoons of chives that have been chopped, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and for the coating this time we're going to use half a cup of dried cranberries that have been chopped, half a cup of pecans that have been chopped, and 2 tablespoons of chives that have been chopped. So get all your ingredients together and then weigh out the cream cheese. Now if you've made your own cream cheese, this 2-spoon method works really well to weigh out little bits of it. So into the mixing bowl we're going to add the cheese, the chowder, then we're going to chop up the pre-measured pecan nuts or pecan. So I'm making sure they're not too fine, a little bit of coarseness. You want a bit of texture in the cheese ball. But no obviously big chunky bits, of course. So pop that into the mixing bowl. And then the pre-measured cranberries. Now these are sweetened cranberries, so they're not as tart as normal cranberries would be. Pop them into the bowl as well. I'm going to add the chives. And then the garlic powder. So this is not garlic salt, this is garlic powder. It's just dried garlic that's been pulverized, I suppose, and powdered. So once all the ingredients are in, give it a good stir with your fork. Mix it all up. And let the flavors mingle. Nice stirring. So once stirred, just get your plastic wrap again, and then using your spatula, get the cheese mixture out onto the board. Then wrap it up into a ball shape again. And pop it in the fridge for 8 hours. Just to firm up. So for the coating, I'm just using the cranberries again, chopping them up a lot finer than I did when I added them to the cheese ball. There we go, pop them on the plate. And then we get the pecans out, or the pecans, the pecans, and chop them up really fine as well. And onto the plate as well. And then finally, the chives. Just add a little bit of greenness to it. Then grab your cheese ball that's been in the fridge and just give it a bit of a reshape and then roll it into the coating. There we go. That's ready to serve. Perfect. So the next cheese ball is the bacon cheddar ranch cheese ball. So for this cheese ball you'll need 225 grams or 8 ounces of cream cheese that's been softened, half a cup of cheddar that's been grated, 2 tablespoons of ranch seasoning powder, 1/4 cup of green or spring onions, same thing, and that's chopped, 4 strips of bacon that have been cooked and chopped. For the coating, you'll need an additional 2 strips of bacon that have been cooked and chopped as well. So once all your ingredients are there, now then measure out your cream cheese again. And then to your cream cheese, add your seasoning, the ranch seasoning. I used a tablespoon initially, and then I added some more later on because I tasted it and I didn't think it was strong enough. So there's a full tablespoon there, and I added another tablespoon later on. And then we add the cheddar. Now this is part grated cheddar that I bought from the store and part cheddar that I'd made myself. Then we add in the spring onions or green onions. And then we add in the bacon. And then give it a good stir with the, a little bit of salt. Alright, give it a stir with the fork. And I tasted it and I thought I need a little bit more something, so that's probably half a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon more of the ranch seasoning. So once that's thoroughly mixed, we're going to put that onto the plastic wrap again, using a spatula, and pop that on there. Get it all off. Nice clean. I've got clean hands, so that's fine. So wrap that up, form it into a ball, and refrigerate again for 8 hours to firm up. So once it's firm, we sprinkle on some chopped up bacon. I made it really crispy. And then roll your cheese ball in the bacon. Now, didn't get a full coverage, so I used a little bit more. I wanted to see how much I could get away with. There we go, that looks pretty good. There we go. Perfect. So it's ready to serve. So the next cheese ball is the Glorious Garlic Cheese Ball. And this is an amazing cheese ball. The flavour blew me away. So the ingredients are 225 grams or 8 ounces of cream cheese that has been softened, 1/2 cup of cheddar that's been grated, 3 cloves of garlic that has been minced, 1 to 2 tablespoons of sour cream, depending on how thick it is, a half a teaspoon of Italian herbs. And then for the coating, we're going to use 1/2 cup of sliced almonds. So get all your ingredients together, measure out your cream cheese, add in the garlic that's been minced, and add in your Italian herbs. This was just for a little bit of additional flavour. It's quite nice through the cheese ball. Then we add the cheese. And then the sour cream. Now mine was quite runny. I actually added 2 tablespoons. I probably should have added only 1. This was light sour cream. If you're using full strength sour cream, probably 2 would be fine. It was just a little bit runny, I suppose, is what I should call it. So give that a good stir, mix that up. You can see it's a lot smoother than normal. I added a little sprinkle of garlic powder as well. Can't have enough garlic apparently. Tastes great. I need a little bit of salt there too, so that was added in. Perfect. So that's all done. Once it's done, get your spatula and turn it onto the plastic wrap. And then wrap it up into a ball shape. This one was a little bit more fluid, had to be careful. So I popped that into the refrigerator for 8 hours to firm up. So once it's firm up, sprinkle your slivered or sliced almonds onto a plate and then coat your cheese ball. It's quite sticky, this cheese ball. So just place the almonds around if you can't roll it on. And now it's ready to serve. The almonds are there for a bit of texture. It's quite nice. It actually tasted a lot like garlic aioli. There we go, ready to serve. So the next cheese ball is the Jalapeno Popper cheese ball. So this one had a bit of fire in it. So it was 225 grams or 8 ounces of cream cheese that's been softened, 1/2 cup of cheddar that's been grated, 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pepper, 2 slices of bacon cooked and chopped, 1/2 of a jalapeno, and 1 green or spring onion that has been chopped. For the coating, you'll need 1/2 cup of cheddar grated, 2 slices of bacon cooked and chopped, another half jalapeno finely minced, and another green onion that has been chopped. So get all your ingredients together, weigh out your cream cheese. And then we're going to add our ingredients. First up, the 2 powders, so the garlic powder and the onion powder. So that was the garlic powder, and then the onion powder, and then the white pepper. Then we're going to add the bacon and the spring onions or green onions. I didn't add it all because some of that's for the coating. And then we're going to add the cheese. Didn't add it all because the rest was for the coating. Now, I didn't have whole jalapenos. I had some pickled jalapenos, so I pulled out enough that I thought was about half of one. And just use a bit of paper towel to get some of the vinegar off. So I just patted that down to absorb some of the vinegar that it was pickled in. Didn't want to make the cheese ball too sloppy, so I just roughly chopped that. Wasn't too fine, and then popped it into the mixture. I found it gave the right amount of heat. Now you can make it hotter, of course, if you want, by adding a different type of chili pepper or using a raw chili pepper, and that will work fine. So give it a good mix with the fork, and salt to taste if necessary. And then lay down some plastic wrap. Using your spatula, turn the ball out onto the wrap. And then form it into a ball shape and pop it into the fridge. There's the rest of the ones I made before I coated them. Just on a plate, into the fridge to all firm up. So after the 8 hours, once they're all firmed up, put your cheese, your bacon, your spring onions, the ones you've got left, and then chop up some more chilies to pop onto the plate as well. Nearly forgot them. Anyway, so chop them up a bit finer than I did the first time. Pop them onto the plate, give that a good mix through, and then coat your cheese ball, of course. So this was quite firm, this one, which was good. And then just coat it all over. So don't waste any mixture, just keep pressing it on. It sticks eventually. This one was obviously the spiciest cheese ball out of the 5 that I made. But each of them were equally delicious. So pop on a plate to serve. So there they are in all their glory, the 5 cheese balls, the 5 festive easy cheese balls. Anyway, back to Gav. So there you have it. As I said, they were easy. I'm going to be doing a taste test video. It will be released in a couple of days' time. So I sat down with my good friend Stacey. So there's the irony there, Gavin and Stacey. And we savour the delights of the 5 easy cheese balls. So stay tuned. If you haven't already subscribed, then make sure you do, and then you'll get to see and be notified of the release of that video. Well, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next time.